Hello, good afternoon class. How are you doing? I believe that you're all fine and safe. So how was your vacation? You had a great time? I hope so. Well, are you ready to begin our lessons? Today we're going to continue our lessons now in Unit 1, page 1 and 3. Remember, this is not the first page of Unit 1. This is Unit 1 of our second half of our book, meaning this is the last term of our school years. So congratulations for your first 3 terms. You all have did a real fine job, and most of you have a passing grade. Congratulations you on that for a job well done. Now, can you please take out your book and turn to page 1 in the second half of your book? Page 1. Page 1 is entitled Inventions. Can you see it? And on this page I have 4 articles of a newspaper clippings about some medical inventions that was invented by Australians. As you can see, this book is from Australians. As the title said, Marvelous Medical Inventions. We know the word marvelous is an expression, mean wow, that is great, right? Medical is a medical terms, and the word invention, that's what we're going to learn today. It's our topic, inventions. So, can you post something up on what invention is? Can you tell me the meaning of inventions without looking at my board right now? And do you, for yourself, have any kind of inventions that you use around the house, or you use somewhere at school, or something that you do? If so, please post something up on our Telegram page explaining what your invention is. Okay, class, before we continue on to our text in the book, I would like for you to write these words down on the board into your notebook so you have a better viewing. But before you write it down, we will go over it together so you have a better understanding of the words and a better understanding of when you read the text, you know what these words mean. Okay, I have a list of words, a list of 6 words here for you to write down in your textbooks or in your notebook. The first word is inventions. The second word is article. The third word, pacemakers. The fourth word, bionic. The fifth word, penicillin. The last word, antibiotic. Antibiotics. Okay, now let's go on to the meaning of these words. Inventions. My first word is inventions. Inventions, as you know, is the discovery of something new. So when you are an inventor and you make an invention, that means you are discovering something new. For example, maybe a long time ago, someone came up with the inventions of this marker. Before there was no marker, they probably used a rock or leaf or some kind of paint to write on the board or write on a piece of paper. But someone came up with the bright idea of inventing this pen, where we can use it, refill it, and erase it. This is an invention by some genius a long time ago. So invention is the discovery of something new, that's something that haven't been done before. You got that? Our second word is article. What is an article? Can you explain to me what is an article, or can you post something up on our Telegram page? Tell me what an article. As you can see in page 1, there are 4 boxes, right, in these pages. Each boxes contain an article. So an article is a writing in a newspaper. So this is an article clipping. All this is an article from a newspaper. So you can also write an article. Something short and to the point is an article. It's a writing in a newspaper. My third word is pacemakers. Of course, pacemakers have 2 or 3 different meanings depending on its context. I'll give you an example of a pacemaker that's not related to our context. For example, if you are riding a bicycle and having a race, and everybody is racing the bicycle, but the one that driving a car that's guiding the bicycle race is the pacemakers. Now that is a different context. But the context that we are talking about here is a different kind of pacemaker. This is a medical term for pacemakers. So the pacemakers that we are talking about is a device that stimulates the heart muscle. A device that stimulates the heart muscle. For example, if your heart stopped beating or there's a problem, a complication in your heart, you go to the doctor and the doctor will put a pacemaker inside your chest and will stimulate the heart so the heart can beat again. That is a pacemaker, a device that stimulates the heart muscle. You will also read about the pacemakers in your first article in the book. And my fourth word is bionic. Bionic. Bionic means a robot or a machine that connects to a human. So, for example, if I have no arm and a doctor put like a robot arm on my hand, so I have a bionic arm. It's real strong, real powerful. That is an example of a bionic. Or like our example of a bionic man on the third article on the bottom, this individual have a bionic ear. You will read more about this man with his bionic ear later on. Bionic means a robot or a machine that's connected to a human. So according to this article, this man have a bionic ear. So his ear, half of his ear is a machine that can pick up or hear sounds and devices. And my fifth word is penicillin. Penicillin. Penicillin is a form of medicine. It is a medicine that help fight disease and viruses, which was discovered about maybe 200 to 300 years ago. A very crucial part of our world history because the discovery of penicillins. And the last word is antibiotic. Antibiotic. Antibiotics is a medicine that fights virus in our body. So penicillin is the medicines that fight antibiotic. If you are sick or have disease in your system, you have to take penicillin, and the penicillin will fight all the viruses or the disease that's in your body. Okay, class, I want you to copy all these 6 words down into your notebook and make sure you try to read it, remember it, and know these words, because before the start of our next week's lesson, I will ask you about these words, and hopefully you can answer my questions about these words. Also, one other main reason for you to copy this down is for you to understand new words, new terminology, and of course, these words will be in your final test. So there you go. You have to study these words and write it down. Okay, now on to our article. Our articles includes 4 different stories from a newspaper clipping from Australia. The first one is a baby saved by modern wonders. So this baby was born, you could see, with a still heart, meaning the heart wasn't beating. When the heart wasn't beating, I mean it wasn't pumping no blood. And then a doctor put a pacemaker inside the baby's heart so as to stimulate the baby, and the heart lived again. I mean the baby lived. So read the article about these babies and you will answer the questions later on. And our second article is about the bionic man I explained to you earlier, the bionic man with the bionic ear. And the third article is the miracle wonder of penicillin, the discovery of penicillin and what does it do and how does it save people, or how does it save human. And our last article here is about this lady from Australia where she invented the magic skin, where if you get burned on your skin, she have a machine that put like a fake skin onto your burnt skin and it will heal like a regular skin. Sounds interesting, right? Okay, now for your task, I want you to read these 4 articles, okay? Understand it, explain it, so you can explain it back to me and answer the questions on page 2. And turn to page 2. Page 2 have a whole page of questions about the article on page 1. So I want you to read the article on page 1, understand it, and answer the questions on page 2. Okay, class, for this task, I will give you 40 minutes to complete. If you have any questions about these words or about the articles, just let me know and I will guide you through all these questions. Also, I will link you up into Zoom. We can have more discussions on these medical terms and these medical miracles. We can talk about that in Zoom and to have a further discussion on that. Okay, class, you will have 40 minutes to complete this task. I'll see you in our second video. Hello, welcome back to our second video for today's lessons. On our first video, we talked about inventions and especially medical inventions. We've learned about the pacemakers, the bionic man with the robot ears, and we have also learned about the importance of penicillins. And thank you for turning in your first task. Most of you have done a really great job, and if you haven't submit me your task yet, please do so before this video ends, okay? Because remember, all these tasks and all this homework that I give you is really important because they will go on to your overall grade on your final grading at the end of the semesters, all right? Because this is our last term, so if you want to improve your grade, submit in your homework. Okay, now, inventions. Some of you have said, yes, you have some inventions that you want to invent, so really good for that. And some of you have explained to me what kind of inventions you have. Probably different spoons that serve or eat different food. You can grab different things. Pretty unique, different inventions. I also want to invent something, but my inventions are like tools where I can use like the 3-in-1 tools, where I can use one tool to do a bunch of different projects. So I'm still working on that, but it's just my inventions and hopefully it will come to fruitions. Okay, now on to our second task. For our second task, I want you to write a paragraph using 50 words or more, okay class? The more words you use and the better or the proper grammar that you use, I will grade you on a higher score or give you a higher points. For your writing topics, I want you to write about what bionic features do you want to have. What bionic features do you want to have? Remember on our articles on page 1, we have this man here with the bionic ear, right? He had these robot ears in place or installed on his ears so he can have better hearing because he is kind of deaf. He can't really hear and see that good. So the bionic ear help him to hear more sounds and to distinguish the sound. So this helped this gentleman hearing aid. So now I want to ask you is, what bionic features do you want to have? Why do you want it and what benefit can you use it for? So this is your topic. Remember, there is no wrong answer, just about you. What do you want to have as a bionic features? I will give you an example of what I want as a bionic feature. For me, I want some bionic legs where I can just sit and stay still, stand, stay still, and tell my robot leg to walk me over there or walk me over here. See, that's my feature. I want a bionic leg. So yes, I am sometimes lazy, so with a bionic legs, it'll help me to go get my food, to go get my water, and to do whatever I want. But I want you to write about your bionic features, okay? 50 words or more. For this exercise or this task, I will give you 30 minutes to write. After you've completed your writing, please submit it to my personal Telegram, and I will correct it and give you back your score. Okay, class? This is the end of our second video. See you in our third video. Hello class, welcome back to our third and final video. Before I introduce you to our homework, I would like to do a quick recap of what we have learned today. So, can you post something up on our Telegram page explaining to me what inventions are? Hopefully you can explain to me in a good brief sentence because we have went over this pretty extensively. And also, we have learned about different medical inventions that was found in Australia. A pacemaker, a bionic ear, a doctor that invented penicillin, and the skin retractor, how this lady can help burn victims by giving them magic skins. Pretty interesting, huh? We also have discussed more about these medical terms in our Zoom and on our Telegram page, explaining what medical inventions that we might be able to have, right? Because I know some of you have talked about old age, or I have think about old age. If there's any medicines that can help us with old age. And especially for me, like we talked about having a lot of gray hair. If there's any inventions that you can invent or something to help me out that eliminates these grays here to make me look a little younger. Yes, we talked about also the dye, where we dye our colors, but that is not permanent. It will like fade away after a few weeks. I want to invent something that's permanently make all my hair, gray hair, disappear. So if you have any inventions or any thoughts about making that go away, let me know. Then we will make a patent and try to invent something together, right? We also understand that all these writings on page 1 is an article. An article is a writing in a newspaper. So if you pick up any newspapers anywhere in the world, and all the writing in the newspaper are called article. You can say, yes, this article was about a medical invention, or this article was about food. So any written thing in a newspaper is called article. And yes, we know what a pacemaker is. A pacemaker is a device that helps our heartbeat, stimulates the heart muscle, stimulates with the S. And Bionic. Thank you for submitting in your work for your second task about writing what bionic devices you want. Remember my example about the bionic legs? I'm still working on that and see if I can find somebody to help me with a bionic leg, so it will help me move along to where I want to go without me actually walking. And penicillins are medicines that help fight viruses, especially to help fight antibiotics. I mean, a virus that's attacked the skin or attacks parts of your body. Penicillin was really important during the World War I stage and World War II stage, because that stage there was a lot of injuries due to the war, and the famous doctor invented the penicillin so it helped fight all the viruses and diseases that went around the human body. So thank you for copying these works down, and thank you for doing your task. Now on to our homework. Our homework I will post after the video is played. So if you have finished watching this video, let me know and I will post you your homework. Remember, your homework is due before we start our next week's class. So do your homework and you will get a very good score, and you will get an overall score of a passing grade when your final exam comes. Okay, class? Till we meet again next week, goodbye and be safe.